Greetings everyone, and welcome back to Midnight Stories with Haroon. I know many of you use these videos to unwind and fall asleep, so before you drift off, I'd love for you to leave a comment letting me know where in the world you're tuning in from. Also, if you're enjoying the story, please give it a like and subscribe. Now, let's get cozy, relax, and dive in. This case unfolded in a large town in Sinoan County, situated in the southern part of Hub Province's Anji Autonomous Prefecture. On the afternoon of October 26, 2010, the Sinoan County Police Command Center received an urgent call. The caller, a middle-aged man named Leon Shihuan, reported that he suspected his home had been broken into and his wife had vanished mysteriously. Roughly 30 minutes after the report, Sinoan County Police arrived at the scene. Zan's residence was at Building 1, Yena Road, in the Old Planning Commission residential area of Sinoan County, a typical three-bedroom apartment. According to Zan's account, he had been in the Uni City area and didn't return home until the following afternoon. Initially, nothing seemed out of place as the living room lights and TV were still on. But when he entered the master bedroom, he found it in disarray. Clothes strewn across the bed, drawers of the dressing table, and bedside cabinet wide open. Zhejuan said he tried calling his wife, Jiang Shui, but her phone was off and unreachable. Left with no options, he called the police. At the chaotic scene, investigators began their work and uncovered a chilling discovery in the closed wardrobe of the master bedroom. Among the colorful clothes, they found a barefoot figure in jeans, curled up. A cold shiver ran through the police as they moved the clothes aside, revealing a female body, eyes closed, face pale and lifeless. "Shui, Shui!" The police heard Zhejuan scream as he rushed to the wardrobe, sobbing. The body was his missing wife, Jiang Shuan. Homicide technical officers and forensic experts arrived to examine the evidence. Their initial findings showed Shuan was fully clothed with no signs of sexual assault. However, a wound on the back of her head, caused by a hard object, suggested a sudden attack from behind. A clear strangulation mark on her neck led experts to conclude she was strangled to death with a rope or similar object, resulting in asphyxiation. No suspicious murder weapons were found, only a blood-stained cloth hidden in the wardrobe, likely used by the perpetrator to clean the scene. Though many fingerprints were collected, analysis showed they belonged to Xuan and her husband, Xuan, indicating the killer may have worn gloves and erased traces. The ransacked bedroom initially pointed to a burglary gone wrong, but further examination contradicted this. Oddly, most gold and silver jewelry and cash in the bedside cabinet and wallet were untouched. The perpetrator seemed to be after something specific. After Zan's careful review, only 3 items were missing: a wedding ring, a pair of earrings, and Xuan's mobile phone, worth less than 5,000 yuan, about $700. This puzzled the police. If this was a thief, why leave valuable items behind and take only a phone and select jewelry? Did panic cause them to forget their goal? Yet, the scene was calmly cleaned, leaving no fingerprints or clues. Technical officers examined doors and windows, finding no signs of forced entry, no damage to cobwebs, dirt on outer walls, or drainage pipes, and dust on windowsills remained intact. This suggested the perpetrator entered easily, possibly someone known to the victim or someone she didn't suspect. Police began investigating Shu's social relationships, uncovering odd details. After the incident, Xuan's body was taken to Sinoan County Police for further examination. News of the murder of the beautiful folk singer, renowned in the Annie Autonomous Prefecture for her natural talent and local media appearances, spread quickly, sparking curiosity. No one knew what she endured that night. Zhejuan seemed shocked by his wife's sudden death. stating that on the evening of the incident, he had called Xuan and everything seemed normal. She was alone at home, watching TV and embroidering cloth. Shoes. Forensic experts estimated her time of death between 10:00 p.m. and 11:00 p.m. that night, which puzzled the police. A thief would likely strike at midnight, not when the homeowner was still awake. This led to speculation of a killing driven by hatred or a love affair. However, Xuan's mother, Chinny Young Fong, disagreed. She described her daughter as gentle, with no conflicts or grudges. Though Xuan had a prior peaceful divorce, there were no emotional disputes. Further investigation revealed Mrs. Chun, a skilled Tuya ethnic embroidery artisan and representative of Hub Province's intangible cultural heritage, ran a workshop where Xuan often helped. Trained as her successor, Mrs. Chun never imagined her beloved daughter would be murdered at home. As the investigation deepened, police questioned all related individuals, but everyone had alibis. By the second day, the case hit a deadlock. Then, a bold new direction emerged. Zhejuan appeared unusually calm, not like someone grieving a spouse. Mrs. Chun, when asked, defended her son-in-law, saying he was caring, filial, and attentive, especially when Xuan was unwell. Still, the police investigated Zhejuan's whereabouts. He claimed that on October 25th, he went to the Central Hospital in the Annie City area for a medical exam, returning to Sonone County the next afternoon. Surveillance footage and a hotel employee's statement confirmed Zhejuan was in Annie City at 7:02 p.m. and 10:09 p.m. that night. The 62-mile distance made it nearly impossible for him to travel back and commit the crime, clearing him. 3 days after the incident, with pressure mounting from Zhejuan, Mrs. Chun, and local buzz, Deputy E. Chief Zhang Rongjong and 2 technical officers re-examined the sealed scene. They found an incomplete size 6 U.S. shoe print in the living room corner, unlike Zhejuan's size 8.5 shoes. Excited, they summoned acquaintances for comparison, but all had larger shoe sizes. Footprint expert Meng Shain from the Hub Provincial Police Department analyzed the print, noting clear pressure marks at the toe, front shoulder, and heel, but none at the arch, indicating the shoes were too small for the wearer. Shain estimated the perpetrator's true size as 8 U.S., age over 35, height 5 and 5 to 5 and 7, weight 143 to 154 pounds, with a medium, slightly thin build, and knowledge of police methods. Shain sprinkled powder on the floors, revealing hidden bloodstains and footprints, mostly in the living room, suggesting the killing happened there. The body was moved to the wardrobe, and bloody prints in the dining room and bathroom indicated the killer cleaned up. Despite screening suspects in size 6 shoes, no matches were found. On October 31, 2010, during a third scene visit, police noticed Xuan and Zhejuan's wedding photos, prompting a check of their gift money register. A torn page, likely containing 5 to 6 names, raised suspicion. Zhejuan couldn't recall the names due to the large guest list. Police found an original draft in a paper box, identifying 7 names missing from the official register. After screening, one suspect, Lusan, emerged. His phone number was unreachable and no local records existed. Searching homophonic names, they found a 32-year-old folk artist, Lusan, who performed lion and dragon dances but had no stable income after a business failure. Police found matching size 6 shoe prints at Lusan's home. 5 days earlier, he had moved to a remote rented room. A secret arrest operation subdued him in 30 seconds. During interrogation, Lusan stayed silent for a day, then denied involvement. When shown footprint evidence, he asked, If someone uses a knife to harm another, who bears greater guilt, the person or the knife? This hinted he was a tool, with a mastermind behind him. After intense questioning, Lusan confessed, naming Zehuan, the victim's husband, as the orchestrator. Lusan, a former colleague, said Zehuan hired him to kill Xuan for a large insurance payout. The scheme failed 3 times before succeeding on October 25, 2010. Zehuan was arrested, shockingly stating, "Whoever marries me, I would kill them." His marriage to Xuan was a trap. Zehuan, a former tobacco factory worker and driver, dreamed of wealth. Inspired by a movie, he targeted his ex-wife mooching with insurance policies, but she refused. After their divorce, he met Xuan through her father, Zhang Yongzhen. Zejuan bought Xuan accident insurance policies worth 1,160,000 yuan, $155,800, with himself as beneficiary. He recruited Lusan, offering 100,000 yuan, 14,700, to kill Xuan. Early attempts failed. Surveillance was thwarted, explosives behind a gas tank didn't ignite, and a staged burglary was foiled by a locked door. On October 25th, Zehuan created an alibi, telling Xuan a friend would pick up a bank card. Lusan, wearing ill-fitting shoes, entered, struck Xuan with a hammer, and strangled her. He hid the body and weapons, which police later found. On September 23, 2011, the Ani Autonomous Prefecture Intermediate People's Court sentenced Zehuan to death and Lusan to death, with a 2-year reprieve for intentional homicide. Next, Jimoto Island, Yosa City, home province, South Korea. A remarried couple, Parton, 50, an insurance consultant, and Kim Swan, 47, a restaurant server, lived in downtown Yosu. In 2018, they drove to Jew Village on Jimoto Island. At 10:56 p.m. on December 31st, the Yosu 119 Safety Center received a frantic call. "Help me, I can't open the door or windows. It's too dark, I can't see. The car is sinking." Swan panicked, couldn't hear the dispatcher's questions. After 4 minutes, gurgling water was heard, then silence. The call was traced to Jew Village. Rescue teams arrived to find locals and Tan crying on the dock, pleading, "Save my wife, she fell into the sea." Swan, born in Yosa City, had a son and daughter from her first marriage. She met Tan, a single father, at work. They married on December 10, 2018, after her divorce. Less than a month later, tragedy struck. Tan sobbed, calling Swan gentle and saying they were in their honeymoon phase, planning to watch the New Year's sunrise. They toured Yichun-do and Uwak-do, then parked at the dock to sleep in the car. At 10 p.m., Swan slept in the passenger seat while Tan smoked outside, checking the tires. The car slid forward on a slope. Tan tried to open the door, but it was locked. He banged on the window, shouting Swan's name, but watched helplessly as the car sank. Unable to swim, he jumped into the sea, failed to save her, and ran to a guest house for help, calling 119. Rescue workers noticed suspicious details. A deformed dock railing, yet Tan's clothes were dry. They hypothesized a planned act. Police arrived and Tan cooperated, insisting it was an accident, claiming no knowledge of the railing damage. The guest house owner noted Tan's calm demeanor, raising doubts. Surveillance showed Tan walking leisurely to the village at 10:57 p.m., clothes dry. Tan's background revealed a failed marriage, 3 daughters, and financial strain. In 2012, he committed a $440,000 robbery, serving 2.5 years. Hired as an insurance consultant, he targeted Swan, selling her policies worth 1.25 billion won, $962,000. He changed beneficiaries to himself, even secretly to his brother. Police suspected Tan planned the accident for insurance money. The recovered car showed a shattered windshield, rear impact damage, and an open trunk. The gear was in neutral, and a rear window was open 2.75 inches, speeding the sinking. Tan claimed Swan felt unsafe, so he backed up, hit the railing, and left the car in neutral. He said the trunk opened from water pressure and Swan opened the rear window for ventilation. Evidence mounted. Tan visited the scene a week prior, and as a skilled driver, leaving the car in neutral was odd. Police arrested him for intentional murder. At trial, prosecutors argued financial pressure drove Tan to stage the accident. The defense claimed no proof he pushed the car. Winds could have caused the slide. The court sentenced Tan to life for intentional murder. Tan appealed, denying the crime. The appeals court ruled him guilty of negligent homicide, sentencing him to 3 years. The Supreme Court overturned this, citing reasonable doubt. The trip wasn't Tan's idea. Intimate relations were Swan's request, and his health was poor. Freed, Tan sought insurance money but was denied. He sued, and the appeals court ordered the $1.25 billion $962,000 payout. Some believe Tan exploited legal loopholes. Others think it was a coincidence.